It's Transformers 96 here with another collection update. So I haven't done a collection update in a while, and now I'm getting to it. So let's talk about it. Just recently I did post a video where I did talk about some updates to this to my collection, where I talked about like where I got all of my cabinets, and I just installed lights. So I talked about how I installed the lights and where I got them and things like that. So if you have any questions like that, feel free to check out that video. I made that video specifically to answer any questions. So let's get into the actual collection here. But before we talk about some of the stuff in the glass cabinets, let's talk about the regular figures on the shelves. Alright, so here's my collection on the shelves, and as you can see, since my last collection update, I've installed lights on the shelves as well, which I'm very happy about. So let's get started shelf by shelf. Right at the very top we have my Transformers collection. This collection, as far as what's on here, really hasn't changed. Obviously, since I mainly only collect Transformer movie items, and there's been a lack of movies for the past couple of years, really haven't been able to add anything to this. So I might have shuffled the order of some of this stuff, but mainly it's the same. This is the only shelf that I have steps on, so there's an incline as far as the figures go, simply because when I didn't do that before, the shelf was too high and I really couldn't see all the figures that were on it. So with the steps, it allows me to really get to see everybody. Nobody gets lost in the crowd, basically. So this is really nice. I do love the steps on this shelf quite a bit. And then now the lights obviously light everything up pretty nicely, so you can really get a good look at everything. And here's my favorite shelf of these four shelves. It's my Marvel comic collection. Last collection video, this was still mainly Marvel comics, but it also had a section of movie Marvel figures. I have since then moved that Marvel movie figure collection, and I've dedicated the shelf completely to the comics. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while, but just I didn't have enough figures to do it, and I finally hit a certain point this year where I had plenty of figures to take over the entire shelf, which was very cool. So, Marvel Universe in the front, Build-A-Figures and Select Figures in the back, and then in the middle is a sea of Legends. There was a time where I had very few Legends, and it was my Marvel Universe collection that was the main focus, but nowadays, with the Marvel Universe basically coming to a halt and Marvel Legends going full force, my Marvel Legend toys have really taken over this shelf. But very cool. Love the shelf. I try not to put them in any sort of order. I just I let them roam free, basically, just in any order, just because I like it. I like the diversity of it. So many different colors and costumes and looks in general. So really do like the shelf quite a bit. There's a ton to look at, and I just get lost looking at this stuff sometimes. One more shelf down, we have my DC as well as Marvel movie collection. I've kind of given the shelf to both of them. This shelf has some areas that I really like, but as a whole, it really feels lacking to me. I have a massive, almost empty space on it, and it's extremely annoying. I love my Marvel movie stuff and the Marvel DC stuff. Like, I like the arrangement that I have them in. It's not enough to take up the entire shelf. I'm hoping with the upcoming DC Collectibles movie Films Premium line, I can start to fill this in a bit more, but that's only going to happen if they stop canceling figures. Alright, so there's a little kind of DC section. I do have a line of Yellow Lanterns because I'm a big Yellow Lantern fan, and then I have a line of just kind of random DC stuff. I don't like doing that. I like to have my stuff pretty organized, so to have just a line of random stuff, I'm really not a fan of. However, all the random stuff on that line, I really like, so it's not like I don't want to just put them in a bin somewhere. I would like them to be on display, but they might end up going in a bin soon here, just because they just don't look good like that. And then this big empty section, really not a fan of. I tried to add something to make it not as empty, so I put in my just the Marvel Select Avengers and just the classic team, and kind of decided to pose them so they take up more room and be more of an eye catcher. But still, really not happy with how empty that is. And then my movie stuff, I'm happy with the arrangement that I have my movie stuff in. With that other select stuff, this actually, it fits in better. There's more of a straight line as to where it ends. Now it's a bit curved, but with that movie stuff back over here, it's going to be a nice straight line again. But anyway, what I have here is just a, this is completely new, and obviously I moved it from the top shelf, and I added stuff to it, because I used to display my Avengers in a separate area, and it was just all my other Marvel movie stuff, but now I have the Avengers with it again, and it's just... It's everybody. You've got the Marvel Legends figures all right there. You've got some selects on the side, but just all my Marvel Legends movie characters in one section. And then at the bottom we have the 3¼ versions, and there's different sections to represent the original movies, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. So I do like that setup quite a bit, and it's nice to see just all the Avengers together. So let's move down the shelf. At the last shelf, we have my Star Wars collection. So to the left there, we have the MTT, a vehicle that I really love from Star Wars, and I've got a line of battle droids just kind of, next to it to kind of complete the display, so it's not just a random vehicle. And then we have my Jabba the Hutt collections. I like Jabba the Hutt a lot, and I have multiple different scales and versions of his palace there going on. Got the Pop collection in the back there, with that box set. I think it was a Walmart exclusive. Very cool set because it comes with his throne, like a cardboard version of it, and a backdrop. So I really do like that. It feels more like a set that way. Then I just have a small Black Series representation. Black Series really hasn't released any or many figures from his palace, so I can't do much with it. And there's no throne, of course, but I do have the Black Series Jabba the Hutt with the Black Series Boba Fett. I do have the Slave Leia figure, but she's mint, so I would love to open her, but I'm not going to at the moment. And then front and center is my main Jabba the Hutt Palace collection with the 3¼ inch setup. Now this setup I have almost everybody for. There's very few characters that I don't have, and I have a ton of guards too. So I'm very happy with that setup. And that's the new Jabba the Hutt that came in the Rancor set, which I like quite a bit. Alright, we move over to the Black Series. This is not all of my Black Series. Actually, probably the majority of my Black Series, now come to think of it, are with my TIE Fighter, which I'll show you later on. They're on top of a cabinet. But I keep like my First Order and Empire collection separate. The only reason that there are a couple of troopers on the shelf is merely because I need an even number of troopers to display them with the TIE Fighter. And like the hover tank pilot, I only have one. I only have one Trader Trooper, FN2187 doesn't really fit on there, so things like that. So they'll be moving pretty soon. But as you can see, all my Black Series stuff have a few 3¼ inch stuff at the front, and then to the side, I have a couple of we've got like one Black Series or two Black Series things in the background there, but mainly this is the Clone Wars 3¼ inch. I do have some other just movie 3¼ inch figures on this in this display as well, but mainly the Clone Wars stuff, and I do have them all on bases. They're looking quite nice. Although the TV show's done, really enjoyed the TV show, so I am very happy to have a solid collection of them still standing on my shelves. Alright, so that's the Star Wars shelf. Moving down even further, we have some Pacific Rim stuff just on the floor under the shelves. I don't have any lighting here. I'm thinking about trying to change this up to make it nicer, but at the moment it's very basic. To the sides, I do have just Marvel characters kind of guarding it, and I have some wires here. I'm not done with doing all the wire work yet, so that stuff is still there. But I have some Jaegers over there, and then like a V formation of Kaiju falling to more Jaegers on that side. So this looks bad at the moment. I'm thinking about maybe just getting a shelf and just laying it on the floor so that it looks like it's more in line with the rest of the shelves, and to actually put in a couple lights on this shelf as well. I'm considering doing that. We'll see what happens, but at the moment it's a nice way to have my Pacific Rim stuff in the collection, considering they're all very large and kind of awkward shaped items. It's kind of hard to display them, so I am happy that I have a space to put them. Alright, starting off with my first detail, on top of it you do have the Black Cat statue from Sideshow for their J. Scott Campbell line. I really do like the statue, and I do have the print that was originally based off of the statue, the drawing that was based off of, that is signed by J. Scott Campbell, so I think that looks quite nice. go down one more, we have my Deadpool setup. The detail cabinets I don't have lights in, so unfortunately they aren't the best lit, but hopefully you can still see everything very clearly. But we do have Deadpool in there, the sideshow version. Have the package in the package like slip that was in his box. I have that kind of stood up. I think it looks nice as a background, and then that Loot Crate exclusive Deadpool minifigure I have there. And then this shelf is just a placeholder at the moment. When I purchased another Detolf, I had a few extra spots. Now I don't actually have any extra spots except for this one. So I did just put a placeholder in there, that final battle with Avatar, Jake Sully, and the what is it, AVP? Something like that? AMP? I think it's AMP actually, the suit. I do like this box set. I love the pose that it's in, and I like the fact that the AMP, that's it, the AMP is damaged. So so I do like that setup, but I don't really need it displayed, so that's just a placeholder for the moment. And one more down, we have the Masterpiece Seekers. So I've got Starscream, Sunstorm, and Thundercracker. Hopefully they'll be releasing Skywarp to US retail, so I can add some more to that. And then I have my drone collection. I do have a really nice drone display. I'm a big fan of those figures. I've built like a whole stair system for them, so they're actually like layered and leveled, and I have quite a few of them, so very happy with that setup. Alright, on top of my first main cabinet, I do have my Elite Series collection, the diecast series that's Disney Store exclusive. I have quite a few of them. I do enjoy collecting the Elite Series. I love the diecast factor to them, and they're pretty good price for the diecast and everything. So I do have doubles of a lot of these figures too, which is why I do have a wall of mint figures in the back there. And obviously this collection has grown since the Rogue One figures have been released. So just give you a higher look just so you can kind of see them and kind of see the formation that I've displayed them in. So very nice. I do definitely want to get Han Solo pretty soon here. And on the top shelf of the first main cabinet, we do have my First Order collection from The Force Awakens with a Heavy Gunner Stormtrooper, a regular Stormtrooper, a Riot Trooper, Kylo Ren, and the Captain Phasma. So very nice, and I am displaying them kind of front and center just so that they catch the light nicely, and they're really just like on the front of the shelves. Actually, I didn't think that was going to look nice, but when I did it, it actually looks really solid. So very happy with that. It's a nice, you know, First Order collection, and hopefully I can add to this. I wouldn't mind putting Rogue One troopers in there or anything, but at the moment I plan not to buy any Rogue One troopers on full retail. I'm going to try to get them on some discounts after their release, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, and under the First Order collection, we do have my Dark Knight items. This is the cabinet that's not 100% themed, obviously, with a bit of DC, a bit of Star Wars. And I've gone back and forth as to what this cabinet's going to become. I think at a certain point, I'm going to have too many of one franchise to split this cabinet, so I think this is either going to become a full Star Wars collection, or it's going to become a full DC collection. Haven't decided at the moment, only time's going to tell that, because I have a lot of figures coming from both franchises at the moment, so who knows what this is going to end up as. But at the moment we do have the Dark Knight shelf, just a nice representation of my Dark Knight figures, and below it we have the representation of the best Dark Knight figures. That's Joker. I have you know, the regular version in the interrogation kind of diorama setup, and then the bank robber Joker in the bank robber diorama setup. I'm a big fan of those dioramas. I definitely wanted to incorporate them into this display, and I'm very happy that I can do so, having them in the same kind of section as just my main Dark Knight Trilogy collection. So I kind of struggled as to how to display my Dark Knight figures for a while now, and I am very happy to finally come to a spot where I'm really happy with how all the Dark Knight figures are being displayed. So at the top of this Detolf, we have the Hulk with Bruce Banner. This isn't my favorite setup, you know. The Hulk I would like to display with the Avengers, but I don't think he's going to fit on the shelf. And having him with Bruce Banner is nice, but the Bruce Banner figure itself, I'm not too fond of. So I think eventually this is going to be changed up a bit, but for now, it's a nice way to display the two of them. Then we have kind of my Batman v Superman cube there with Superman and the new Batman, of course. I don't have them displayed on bases, but I have Batman's base front and center with that logo flipped up. I like the fact that the logo can flip up, and it works nicely. It's a nice little piece there to kind of show you that that's what this shelf is meant to represent. And then below them we just have General Zod. I have two versions of him, the same figure, but one without armor basically. And then I have his bases just kind of flipped so that they're facing each other, and then I have them standing on both of their bases. Under the Zods, we have my Harley Quinn collection. I've got quite a nice Harley Quinn collection going on. You've got the Suicide Squad DC Collectibles statue in the back. Then I have kind of a diagonal row of the Play Arts figures. I finally was able to get that Arkham City version of her for a good price, so I did finally complete that display. So I have all of the Arkham Play Arts Harley Quinn figures, and then I have their DC Collectibles counterparts in front of them in the same formation, and then I have an Injustice Figure Arts Harley Quinn just there, kind of capping it at the corner. I do plan to throw in the SH Figure Arts movie Harley Quinn as soon as that one comes out, which should be within the next couple months too. So it's a nice collection, and it will continue to grow, obviously, with Harley Quinn becoming probably more popular than ever at the moment. And then below that, we just have the statue from Arkham Origins, the Joker statue that was in the kind of deluxe edition of that pack, or of that game. So it's a nice statue. It actually takes up the shelf perfectly, size-wise it's perfect for it, and it is quite nice. I'm happy that I can display it, and kind of keeps that Joker Harley Quinn theme kind of going for those last two shelves. Alright, on top of my main cabinet here with my Avengers figures, we do have the Mark 43 on Thor's base, with the Ultron Prime's base behind it, kind of flip forward, with the lights lit up. You know, it has a nice Avengers kind of effect to it. This, I'm not super fond of what I have up here. It's just, I don't really have a concrete spot for the Mark 43, so, and I needed something on top of this, this cabinet, so I thought that this would be kind of a nice setup to kind of go in front of the Avengers Age of Ultron poster that I have up there. So it looks quite nice, and you know, it works for now. I think eventually I'll definitely be changing this up. I don't have any specific plans at the moment, but I'm sure with some more figures that come in, maybe I'll put like a Falcon up here so that he can really spread his wings on top of a cabinet, something like that. I'm not quite sure, but at the moment it works quite nicely for the top of the main cabinet. Front and center, we have my Avengers collection at the top shelf there. Looking quite nice. This is probably my favorite shelf of the collection, just because it's the classic Avengers. I've had them in different orders for a long time. I finally got them in a position where I'm quite happy with it, where I have the core 6 Avengers to the front, and then just behind them, but scattered so that you can still see them properly. You have some of the secondary Avengers, and then you do have Falcon in the back there, allowing him to have his wings fully spread, and he is on a taller base too, so he's higher than them as well. And now with the lights, you can fully see everybody in there, which just is great, and I love this collection, and I'm very happy with the versions of these characters I have. I know that a lot of people would probably not display the Mark III in here, especially since I have the Mark 43, and I could easily put him in here, but I really like the classic look of these guys, which is why I haven't updated Captain America. I'm very happy with my original Avengers Captain America, and I have the most classic Iron Man that you can have in here as well. So I've tried to keep this display extremely classic, and because that's just kind of the look I like. I like the classic Avengers the most. Hulk is the only one that I would love to fit in here, but obviously he's not going to fit with his with him having to compete with Falcon's wings, basically. But still very happy with this collection, and I do have plans as to how I can change it slightly to fit in some of the other characters like War Machine, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. So I'm very excited to add to this collection as well. And below the Avengers, we have more of an Iron Man setup, but it still, of course, fits with the Avengers, which I do like quite a bit. So at the top there, we have a Tony Stark workshop with him on his full base. The table, you've got dummy, and then you've got 2 armors on each side of him. And those are actually the 2 that are on the end caps of the Hall of Armor. So, you know, I like the Mark 1 and the Mark 7, of course. It's looking quite nice there. I do like that setup. I've had it the same way for the longest time. That's one thing that really just hasn't changed, but I'm very happy with it, so I haven't found the need to change it up, but maybe I will be changing it up coming up soon. I'm not sure. Then below that we have the Iron Legion collection. and I do have some more just bottom lights on this cabinet to really show the Iron Legion. Very happy with this setup. I think that I'm done with the Iron Legion. I'm probably done with Iron Man, like, completely, to be quite honest. I don't think that there's another Iron Man figure that I'm going to get unless one from a future movie just looks so different and so unique. But at the moment, I think I'm done with Iron Man. I've got enough classic Iron Mans, and then I have enough crazy ones that I just like the design of. So I think that I'm completed with my Iron Man Hot Toys figures, but have a nice Iron Legion display. I certainly didn't want all of the Iron Legion figures, but I wanted a really nice range of characters from the Iron Legion, or a range of suits. I wanted them to be very different. I didn't want any repaints or anything like that, and I wanted them to have very specific colors. So I think that I've achieved my goal perfectly, to be honest. Very happy with the setup, and I'm happy that I could display them with those bases. It makes them look very unified, and they just look awesome. I'm very happy with how they all look, and I'm very happy with the armors that I chose to get and the ones that I chose to skip. I think that everything worked out quite nicely in the end there, but they all look quite good. Alright, and here's my Black Series First Order / Empire collection. Very happy to have this. I did pick up the TIE Fighter relatively recently. I was able to get it for like 50 bucks at Target while they had it on clearance right before the Rogue One figures came out, and I was very excited to do so. And it's so big and impressive and imposing, it just looks awesome. And it gave me a way to really display my First Order collection in a really nice light. Along with that TIE Fighter, I was able to get several snowtroopers on a very good price from them at $6 clearance. And then I was able to get some flame troopers for the same price. So I've been able to accumulate quite a nice little Empire collection. And the snowtroopers, it looks like there's only 3 on each side, but there's actually 4 on each side too. So that is quite nice, and I've got quite a collection going. What I do plan to do pretty soon when I get Krennic is to display it where I have in this V formation at the middle here, where I have one side that's First Order and one side that's Empire. So the First Order side will have Kylo Ren, General Hux, and the Flame Troopers, and then this side will have Darth Vader, Director Krennic, and the Death Troopers, and then to kind of disperse some of those other troopers elsewhere. So I think that would actually look really nice, and I'm pretty excited to do that. Alright, and in the shelves under that First Order collection, we have some of the Hot Toys Force Awakens figures. I have the good guys, basically, Rey and Finn, along with BB-8. They look quite nice together. Shelf's relatively bare because it's just 2 figures. However, the 2 figures are quite nice, and I think that I'll probably be moving them back into the main cabinet once Chewie and Han come in, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see how that collection develops. But for now, that's how I have them displayed. I'm quite happy. And then to the side, we have General Grievous, just kind of taking up the entire shelf to himself, doing a full pose there, having all of the lightsabers ignited. Just really a nice look at General Grievous, because I've had him displayed in a pose for so long that to kind of refreshen it by having him just in a nice kind of stance for himself looks quite nice. I love the way the cape hangs. It's perfect. And then under that, we have just a few more just kind of random figures together. I mean, we have the Bounty Hunters together with the Hot Toys Boba Fett and the Sideshow Bosk, and then the Hot Toys Electro and the Hot Toys Black Suited Spider-Man. So these shelves, I mean, they look nice, but they're pretty bare. I mean, I only have like 1 or 2 figures in each cube, so eventually this will be changed, and as more figures come in, I will be combining some of these and things like that. And then the next shelves to the left, I have my Phasma collection. I've actually kind of displayed all of my Phasmas together, with the exception of the Hot Toys one, and I have the Black Series one up top, as you can see with the TIE Fighter. But have a nice little collection there. I got a couple mint Phasmas, and just Phasmas of all different kinds, basically. I think that soon I'll be moving that Phasma, like I said, so this might, the Black Series one, I mean, so this might get one more member to it. And then to the side there, we have my Clone Trooper fighting Sideshow version, fighting the Sideshow Battle Droids. I like the poses that I have them in, and it was a nice way to display them. And then below that, we have my Arkham collection. I did move this from my regular shelf just because you know, the Arkham figures had trouble falling, and it was very annoying. But to get them in the shelves where I was able to compact them more, and they're sealed in from all sides, I don't have any more problem with them falling or anything like that. So this was a nice way to get them completely secure and to still be able to enjoy them, and it looks nicer now. I mean, because I really do love my Arkham collection, so to have them in nice cabinets looks quite nice. And the fact that they're in cabinets that are right next to each other, it looks like they meant to be displayed together, basically. So it still works nicely, even though they're technically split up. On top of the last cabinet, we do have my Kaiju Sideshow statues. This hasn't changed at all. I've had them here since I first moved here. So yeah, you know, it's a perfect spot for them, and obviously with the series being over, there's really no way to expand upon this collection. Maybe with Pacific Rim too, but at the moment, it's a nice way to display the statues so you can fully see them and really get appreciation for them, especially that knife head, the water. I really love the water effect on his base, and that base is basically eye level, so it's pretty perfect to get an appreciation of them. Alright, and this top shelf is Guardians of the Galaxy themed. This is quite nice. The only thing that I don't like about this shelf is the fact that it's a bit bare. I mean, when you look at all of my other shelves in my main cabinets, they all have more figures than this. This is the one that's lacking figures the most. However, I can see the room for growth, considering there's more. I had Drax on pre-order, which should be out within the next few months. And then obviously Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to bring new characters. Hopefully we'll get some figures for like Mantis, Yondu, and Nebula, and hopefully the villain, whoever it may be. But very happy with this, the look of the shelf. I have them all on their bases except for Groot, of course, and I have them all in a walking effect, kind of recreating that scene of them, you know, after they got all dressed and they're walking to the song and everything. Kind of just trying to recreate that a bit here. And then, of course, that Groot figure is one of my favorite Hot Toys figures, and he's looking fantastic in the back there as well. So at the moment, this is kind of a bare shelf, but I think that within the next year, this is going to grow and become one of the coolest shelves in this collection, I would have to say. And under the Guardians of the Galaxy collection, we have my MCU villains. Now, these are figures, kind of like the Dark Knight figures, that I just really did not know how to display them. I've never been happy with how I was displaying them, and there was just always something lacking. And I finally have it where I think that I'm quite happy with my display of MCU villains, and I finally, this is the first time I've ever displayed every single one of them together with two, which I really like a lot. But at the middle shelf there, we have Thanos front and center. It was very hard for me to display him just standing because I love his throne so much. That was the biggest issue with this display, because I love him in his throne, you know. So why waste it? You know, why put it in a cabinet when I can or why, you know, store it away when I can display it. But I did decide to sacrifice his throne for the good of the collection as a whole, basically. But I've got Thanos front and center there, being kind of flanked by his Chitauri soldiers behind him and slightly to the side. And then we have just front and center the two versions of Red Skull, Johann Schmidt and Red Skull, and then Loki and the Mandarin. And then we go down here to this shelf where we have the rest of the MCU villains, and I like this setup. It was quite cool. These are the ones that are kind of big, that are in the background. We have Ironmonger, Ultron, Prime, and the Whiplash Mark II. Those are three kind of more bulky versions of them, and I had them displayed from largest to smallest. And then to the front and a bit to the side of them, we have the other versions of those characters, and they're all on a themed base that fits them all too, which is nice. So you have Obadiah Stane, the Ultron Mark I, and Whiplash. So it was kind of nice to get, like, because I have two versions of these characters basically, so to display them all together so you kind of get the sense that that's what's happening, and to display them in the same type of order, I think looks really nice. So I'm very happy with my MCU villain collection. My only problem is that this collection isn't going to grow, just because any MCU villain that Hot Toys has shown over the past couple of years, they have canceled, including the Ultron Sentry, Yellow Jacket, and Crossbones. So who knows when I'm going to get another character to display in here, but at the moment there's not a single one on pre-order, so it's a shame because I'd love to keep growing this collection, but Hot Toys is really, they're just teasing me and they're not delivering, which is a shame, but I'm very happy with how I have these displayed at the moment. Alright, so to display some of the stuff on the wall, above this window I do have my Green Lantern busts. I have the 3 movie versions of Green Lantern busts, and then 3 comic book versions representing the orange, blue, and black lanterns. Quite happy with that Larfy's bust. It's actually my favorite bust. I really love it, and one sold for just an insane price. It's spiked in price over the last like month. That thing has gone up so much, but I love it. It's a statue that I love so much that although I almost was tempted to sell it, I don't think I can, because I just love it. But I did also put on top of or above these cabinets, or those shelves, I did put some Marvel Legends mint figures. Just recently I was able to acquire quite a few Marvel Legends figures that were mint, just purely because Hasbro's eBay had them for great prices. Let's see if I can back up, show them all. But they had them for great prices. They were selling them for $6 or $7 a piece, free shipping. So I couldn't resist. I did buy quite a few, and I rebought the Hulkbuster wave. So I do have a full Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure mint up there, which is kind of neat. And yeah, so just kind of full setup. The bottom left one doesn't have a figure in it. It's just purely a placeholder until I get another mint Marvel Legends figure. But then we move over here. We have a few very small shelves. And I do have my Revoltech figures displayed here. I really love the fact that the packaging inserts of the Revoltech figures come with a nice kind of backdrop. And I do have Ultron Prime up there with his backdrop. Have Deadpool there with his backdrop. Just might as well turn on the lights here so that you don't see the Dark Collection. But anyway, I really do love his pose. I think it looks awesome. Very happy with that figure. And then going down, just have a few mint figures from The Force Awakens, just the 3 orange versions. Then we have the door to the room, but on top of the door, it's the costume card collection. These are the cards that have pieces of material that was used in the costumes of these characters. So there's a ton there. They're all Marvel, I believe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, they're all Marvel, just about. But it's a nice way to display them. I really do like the way that I've set that up. And then on this wall, take a big step back. Right, this wall I do have just a 3 3/4 display basically. Well, on the top there's different figures, but it's a wall of mint figures. The very top area, I do have room to do a whole nother line up there at the top, but it's just I can't get a ladder that's tall enough for it, and it seems like such a pain because in order to do it, I'd have to move these cabinets, I'd have to take a lot of these figures off the wall, so it's just and that wall is just so high that it would just be such a pain. So I don't plan to actually put anything on that wall or to finish that top row anymore. It would be too much of a hassle, to be honest. But I think that it would have looked really nice had the wall just been completely covered with figures. However, it still has quite a few at the moment, so looks quite nice, you know, under right above the cabinets themselves. Alright guys, so there's my collection update. I will do at the very end I will kind of give you a rotation of the room just so you can kind of see where everything is relative to each other in case you didn't understand that. But there you go, very happy with this collection. Since my last collection I've changed quite a few things, and I did get a new Detolf cabinet and put in the lights, of course, so a ton is different since the last update. So let me know what you guys think of it, and I've tried to do some of these sections a little faster than normal, so hopefully this isn't as long of a video as it usually is, but I'm sure it'll still be quite long anyway. But very happy to show you guys my collection and give you a quick kind of rotation. We've got the shelves there. See if we can focus. There we go. Got all the shelves. And rotate. You got the door and the cabinets, and then right here is the window that I'm standing next to. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that collection update, and thanks so much for watching.